So, welcome everybody to yet another Coffee Time with Hako, the show where I have my morning coffee and I up into the void. Today, we have Average Luck Gamer. Average, how the hell are we doing?
I'm very well. How are you, sir?
I am absolutely dandy. I'm super excited to be doing this. I'm a big fan of your work, so thank you for reaching out and kind of putting this together.
Oh, thanks, man. I mean, yeah, I'm a fan of your work too. It seems crazy because I feel like I've watched you since I started making Zenless content. It's nice to collaborate with people, you know?
It is like literally bringing the community together.
So real.
So should we address the big elephant in the room?
What is the big elephant in the room?
Where's your Ellen?
Do you, by elephant, you mean great white shark?
Yes, should we address the big white shark in the room?
Yeah. See, I don't have an Ellen, Hako. And I feel like you are the Ellen simp guy. And,
yeah, I think so.
And I guess I have to apologize and say that she doesn't exist on my end. She does exist. I like her very much. I like her as a character. I think she's super cool.
Yeah.
She's very cute. Her alternate outfit, very, very cool. She looks awesome. I know it's a bit plain, but I think she looks amazing.
It is. And yeah.
Go on. I was just yapping over here. Basically, what I'm saying is I love her design.
Yeah.
I never pulled her at the start of the game. I think I talked about this with my chat like last stream when I said that we were going to do it together, and they said that you were going to get upset. And I basically said that my second ever video about Zenless Zone Zero was saying, hey, maybe we should wait for Ju-Yuan, before we commit to Ellen. Let's maybe wait for Ju-Yuan. And then that was basically the whole of my shtick.
Yeah, and look at you now struggling because you don't have Ellen. No, I'm kidding. Ellen, I love her. I think her design is so fucking cool. I just like sharks. I think sharks are super cool, and I wasn't super clued up on Zenless before it released. Then I think the first proper trailer demo I watched was Ellen. I'm like, wait, the first event character is a fucking shark. All right, we're whaling or we're sharking.
Yeah, but we're whaling or sharking.
Yeah, but as an Ellen main, she has a bunch of flaws, and I feel like all of them are mainly because she was the first one out. They hadn't ironed out the kinks yet. Were she to be released today, I think she would be much closer to Lost Void Ellen than Vanilla Ellen.
Yeah, I don't think we can argue with that idea. And I think in terms of keeping her relevant, there is a chance that we do get something like Lost Void Ellen at some point. Maybe there's some kind of gear that maybe we can unlock in the main game. But I think, we just had a rerun, which was probably the chance for that if it was going to happen now.
Yes.
So, yeah. We might be waiting for the next one at this point.
Yes. But at that point, I almost feel like they have to pull some bunnies, out of a hat to make people actually pull for Ellen.
Yeah. At this point, yeah.
So let's slide into that. Do you think buffs will happen to old characters? Yes.
No.
No.
I think not direct buffs. No. I think it seems very unlikely. I know that there was that announcement recently around the HSR power creep. And them I can't remember the exact wording, but the wording sounded like they were potentially going to buff older characters.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a solution to a problem that shouldn't have been created in the first place. So I think with the other side of the Hoyoverse area with the Genshin stuff,
mm-hmm.
I think that they should have, what they do on the Genshin side is they're more likely to indirectly buff characters
by releasing stronger support for that character.
Yeah, get stronger supports who buff certain niche in certain niche circumstances, which mean that those characters then benefit from that. So, for example, like let's say we have Lighter right now, who's a fire and ice stun support who buffs the heck out of fire and ice. What if we had a support who was dedicated just to buffing ice damage, but could only be run with an attack character?
Yeah, so...
And you run that right before or right after Ellen's rerun, and hey, you know, we're fine. And I mean, that's almost a direct buff to Ellen, right? But like through like small incremental improvements, I think that they can get to that point. And I think the Hoyoverse approach should be that, as opposed to, yeah, we fucked up with HSR. We need to fix that problem, you know? So that's my thoughts on it, is that it shouldn't have to happen, and they should indirectly buff agents, and no one should be bad, per se. But maybe they will be. I don't know. Maybe they won't, and maybe they'll have to do the HSR thing. What do you think?
I think that if there's, you know, straight up buffing characters in Honkai Star Rail, I do believe that we are also getting that. It's kind of what they've done. Have you played Genshin or Honkai Star Rail before, Average?
I played Genshin quite a bit, but I just never got into Honkai Star Rail, so no, not much HSR.
Okay. But basically, in my opinion, what Zenless has done is they kind of looked at like all of the quality of life changes that primarily their other titles have done, and then they kind of, you know, in less than 6 months, they've given us basically all of those quality of life things, like already here, and also gachas like outside of the Hoyo universe. I kind of just feel like if one of them does it, I feel that that the chance that we're getting them is like extremely high. And I get what you mean with like indirectly buffing, but I'm afraid of that. I'm not sure if Evelyn can be so much more indirectly buffed. If we take Lighter, for example, like Lighter's a little bit weird, right? That he buffs ice and fire. Like, I'm not sure what agent they had in mind, but he was a big boost mainly to like Ellen and Soldier 11 when he came out. Yeah. And same with Caesar. Like, Caesar solved so many of like Ellen's problem with, you know, a lack of iframes and things like that. So it's like, I think indirect buffs are great, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we can indirect buff Ellen that much more. Like, she's almost like reached her peak in that.
Yeah, I guess that might have happened. So do you think that we are going to get direct buffs, kind of like the potential HSR route that they're indicating that they would?
If I had to place money on something, yes, I would, and I would. And if those buffs happen, I think that they're gonna look at, like, you know, what have they done in the Lost Void, like, you know, maybe implement some of those changes into that agent, possibly.
Yeah, okay, that seems fair. Yeah, I you know, like, it's a wait and see situation, right?
I think definitely.
Yeah, I think from a game design perspective, it indicates to me that it's, if they can't indirectly buff, it indicates to me that the character was never well designed in the first place.
Yes, and
that doesn't feel right to me, considering that, you know, Hoyo have got plenty of experience in the gacha space. They don't want their older characters to be power crept in a way that makes them unviable, because then people who love that character are going to stop playing the game, and they can't make money from reruns. So in both of those circumstances, they don't, you know, they can't like get rid of them, if that makes sense. So
yes,
I just don't know. Yeah, like I feel like indirectly buffing through, you know, giving them supports, or you know, potentially, you know, even DPSs that benefit more from specific style supports would be better for the longevity of the game. But if we are in a position where it's either Ellen fades into obscurity or they buff her, I hope they do choose to buff her directly.
Yes, but because I do feel like she's a little bit, like I said, she's a victim of the time. Like, she came out too early, and Hoyo is obviously a massive company. Like, they've done stuff before, but this dev team that did Zenless, like, it's their first game, and in some parts of the game, I feel like you can tell, if that makes sense. And I do feel like if we used to like look at the original cast, that they might not, you know, have fully known where they were taking Anomaly, maybe, for example. And like, you know, I don't feel like they had, you know, finished ironing everything out. That's when when Jane came out, we were like, oh wait, what? This is Anomaly Agents? Because what we had before was like Grace. We're like, damn.
Yeah, I think even towards the start of the game, though, I think everyone kind of realized that Anomaly was going to be really interesting. But then when we got Jane, it was like, oh wow, no, this is the way to play the game.
Yes.
And then after Jane, it just got even worse.
Yes.
Because then we have Bernice into Yanagi into Miyabi. Oh my god. And someone on my YouTube chat, I think it was Minya, they just said, I think this is the ZZZ dev team's first game.
Yes.
So yeah, it might just be a case of that, like, as much as Hoyoverse as a company does have a lot of experience, and to be fair, like this, ZZZ might be this dev team's first game. I still don't think we should cut them any slack, because there's producers who work on this game who are, across the board at Hoyoverse. There are higher ups who are across the board at Hoyoverse, and they should know how balance works with these games. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, as much as maybe we cut them a little bit of slack, they're a $1 billion company. They should know what they're doing.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, I feel like they would almost, be the first people to admit that, they've done some mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, to put it lightly, like the game now is vastly different from how it was in 1.0, for example.
Totally.
And it's a bit interesting because, like, the something I keep bringing up, like the way I kind of view attackers. So, what was your favorite Genshin character?
Farina.
Farina? Oh, she's great. Did you?
Yeah, she's the only constellation I ever got. Yeah.
Nice. Did you ever play around with Eula?
No, I did not.
Why are you laughing? Why are we laughing at Eula?
I'm not laughing at Eula. I'm just, just tell me more. Tell me more about Eula.
Okay, so is there a particular reason why you didn't play Eula?
I think she came out before I started playing Genshin.
Okay.
And then I know she came back on the Chronicled Wish for Mondstadt. But at that point, I think she was so far out of the meta that I never really considered her. What have you got to say about Eula?
So Eula came out, I think it was it during Genshin's second year? Anybody that wants to fact check, please correct me. We just celebrate, or we kind of just celebrated. Was it their 5th anniversary?
4th maybe? I don't know. 4th or 5th.
4th or 5th. Eula is still the best physical damage carry in that game. And that doesn't mean that she's good, it just means that they don't make physical characters. Because they lack, one crucial thing compared to other characters. They lack any sort of reactions with other elements, which is, kind of the backbone of Genshin's entire combat. So nobody's interested in that, and they basically just can't compete. And the way I view attackers a little bit is they are the physical characters from Genshin, because we have anomaly characters that do almost as much damage with basic attacks, EX specials, ultimates, but on top of that, the attackers have to try and make up for 3 million damage assault as well.
Yeah.
And
it does add up.
It does add up. But I think they took Evelyn to they made her interesting. They're like, okay, but what if she, can load a lot of damage into her chain attack, and what if she can do that 7 times in a stun window? So she can reach almost Miyabi level damage, but you need to soul in on that. Meanwhile, if you do it on Miyabi, you can freeze down a third and roll it over the keyboard a couple of times. The damage will be the same.
I do agree. I think that there's definitely a skill diff between Evelyn and Miyabi in terms of their output. But I'd also say as well is that it's not only a skill thing. It's also that Evelyn really wants her best in slot teammates, whereas Miyabi can kind of get along with anyone. She doesn't have to have her best in slot teammates. You can run her more hyper carry. You can run her more with Bernice instead of Yanagi. You can kind of make those switches. Whereas Evelyn really wants Astra and Lighter. But what I will say is that she can definitely still clear the content very easily, especially if you are skilled with her. But she does tend to, what's the word? It's like, it's really easy to hit like 30k, even with a suboptimal Evelyn team. Let's put it that way, on Deadly Assault.
Yeah.
But if you want to like kill the boss, yeah, you need Astra and Lighter.
Yeah.
But like right now, is that necessary? No, of course not.
Have you tried her anything with, I'm sure you have, anything with Collida?
Oh yeah, I was running her with Collida today. Yeah.
Yeah, same, because I absent-mindedly just locked up my Lighter together with Ellen, but I was planning on using Lighter with her. I'm like, all right, we're doing Collida. And like, obviously Lighter is stronger in every sense of the word, but damn, like Collida, the little fucking goblin, like nobody still stuns a bastard as fast as Collida does it. And
yeah, oh yeah, totally.
I mean,
yeah,
like you were talking about, like indirectly buffing, like that's like a very good case of like a new character coming out and then an old character becoming like more viable. Now had her buff been even better and applied outside of stun windows, it would have been even greater. It definitely bumped Collida a little bit in usage.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I lost a 50, I think, just before Evelyn. I can't remember who I was pulling for, but yeah, and then I got Collida, and I've run her with her a couple of times. I prefer running Astra Nicole, but yeah, Collida is fine. She does work absolutely fine. What set is Evelyn on? Someone's asking what set is Evelyn on. Woodpecker.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, the thing is with Woodpecker though is you have to. I'm sure you know, Hako, but like you have to be mindful of that buff that you're gonna get. Is only for basic attack, dodge counter, or EX special attack. So if you're using her special dodge, then you won't get the dodge counter buff. So you need to normal dodge as well to get all the stacks.
Yeah, and this might be something I only do, but I found that the internal cooldown of her, like her own dodge, is in some cases, if it's an aggressive enemy, like it's not enough. So I find myself like doing both. Like my fucking favorite is the Notorious Butcher. When he like does his like whirlwind attack, like when he loads up and then goes completely crazy, like just like tap dancing between her dodge and the normal dodge. I don't know, it's just such a satisfying like attack to dodge, and it just feels so smooth doing it.
Yeah. He is pretty nice to dodge around with, yeah. But I don't think I ran Evelyn against him. I think I ran her on the other side. I don't think I've tried Evelyn against him. Yeah, I haven't. But yeah, I can imagine it, because it does happen quite fast. But you really want to be doing the defensive assist on that guy, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, that could be. You're also like on him. You're also incentivized to do the perfect dodges, right? He's the one that like gave you 200 points each every time you do it in performance.
Oh yeah, for the last time he did, yeah. But the one that reset recently, it's the defensive assist, and then you get a buff.
Thank you for the raid wizard. Can we get a mod shout out? So, Average, what would you say is your favorite agent? Like if you could only keep one, which one would you keep?
One agent?
Yeah.
Oh my god. What, like a limited S rank or non-limited, or what's the deal?
What agent do you find, I don't know, the most fun to play? Like if you have a favorite, if you would consider yourself like, oh, I'm a Corin main. Like what main are you? If you had to pick. Cake Yuan says GameCube.
I don't know. I think they want me to say Cake Yuan, but I think I know that my answer isn't Cake Yuan. I think it's close to being Evelyn, but I actually think that my favorite character to play is someone that surprised me, and it's Yanagi.
Ooh, good pick. Good pick.
Yeah, I love her parries. I love her stance changes. I love the sword. Like I love the fact that she buffs her own disorders, so you don't really need to run her with other elements. You can run her like mono shock. And then she can also benefit from other elements on the team as well because of the disorder stuff. I just think she's so interesting to play, and I almost skipped her. And yeah, that's what my chat is.
I've heard some rumors about, or some murmurs about you almost skipping Yanagi. So, what was that about?
Well, I mean, I actually did plan to skip her, but at the end of a stream, I promised them that I would do a YOLO temple, just because. And then we ended up with her, and I was like, oh, I guess I have to build her now. And and then I started running her with Bernice at the time, I remember, and I was like really that was the best team in the game when that came out. And then 100%. Miyabi came along, and then she's on Miyabi's best team as well. Well, it's arguable now, I guess, but
I would still definitely claim her as the best teammate.
Yeah. But I think it's either her or like the lighter Lucy team, but. Yeah, I think she's really surprised me in terms of how fun she is to play.
Oh, and yeah.
Don't pull Yanagi AVG and then pull for Yanagi. Yeah, she's really good. Yeah, she's just the most fun to play. She's genuinely just, like, of all of the characters that I have, she's the most fun to play, I think. So, yeah, I really like Yanagi. And I also feel like she can work in a whole bunch of teams. She works supportively, but she can also be a DPS. And I think she's so flexible in that kind of way. Because she... Like, when you run her with Miyabi, she's a Frostfall stack generator.
Yes.
And then when you run her with Bernice, she's a full-blown DPS. And then you run her with Rena and Seth, and it's a mono-shock, like, hyper carry team. She's got so many team options, and I just think she's really fun.
Yeah, super flexible, and yeah, just like you say, like, I don't know, her gameplay also took me by surprise. Because just looking at her, like, first time we encountered Yanagi, I'm like, that's an NPC. Like, I was even surprised we were getting her as a proper agent. That looked a little bit like an NPC to me.
Yeah. She didn't look very exciting. I mean,
no, exactly.
She looked like an office woman. I mean, yeah, she's got big curves.
Yes.
But she looked like an office woman.
Yes.
And yeah, so I never was too... I mean, I'm not saying she's unattractive. I just didn't think her design was that impressive.
No.
But then, when we saw her weapon and stuff, and it just fully came around on. It fully came around on her.
Yeah.
What about you, though? Who's your favorite character?
Ellen. Ellen.
Oh, okay. But what if? I mean, I feel like you've kind of already, you've already said your piece on Ellen. Like, if you couldn't have Ellen,
if I couldn't have Ellen, there is a new deputy in town, and that is Evelyn. Jane had spot number 2 ever since she came out. I love Jane, but now with Evelyn, I have to say Evelyn. I don't know. It's just something about, like, the combat. Like, you have to be so freaking, like, tuned into the game, and it just feels fucking good mastering Evelyn.
Yeah, and she's got a great pair of personalities too, as Jamie's pointing out.
Thank you, chat. Let's not forget.
But I guess, I like Evelyn too, and I think her damage output is really appealing as a character, and learning her feels really rewarding.
Yes.
It feels really good when you play her well. But I think as a character, I think she does a lot better, and this might be a skill issue, by the way, but I feel like she does a lot better for me in, like, short bursts. Shiyu defense, because it's like a minute or less, is like, oh yeah, great. Like, you blast through it, no problem. But then Deadly Assault, 3 minutes, it's a little harder. And then Battle Tower, sometimes those fights can go on a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Battle Tower with her is rough. I have it for several reasons. That one, everything freaking one-shots you. And then I haven't turned off, like, my my damage numbers. And, like, you have 10 burning piano wires just swirling around the enemy, and if you take one hit, she's dead. Like, I find it frustrating to use in the Battle Tower.
Yeah. And yeah, I can understand that, but I can also see it from like a high skill perspective.
Yeah.
And I could see why someone would really enjoy running her in the battle tower, but that's not me.
Yeah, and yeah, and like that is great. Like my girlfriend's the same way. Like she's not pulling on Evelyn because like I've told her she's a very high skill ceiling character, just like Haramasa. Like she prefers Miyabi because she can be a doo-doo and still clear stuff, and like she doesn't want to necessarily master the combat. But she's more of a casual, a casual gamer, a casual Zenless enjoyer.
Yeah, and that's most players, I think. But yeah, I think in terms of like the Haramasa versus Evelyn, I think maybe their skill ceiling is similar, but I would argue that the skill floor for Evelyn is
higher.
Like even no. Like as in like even at a base level, like even if you're not great with her, you'll still absolutely crush you defense and Deadly Assault, even with suboptimal teams. Whereas with Haramasa, I feel like even if he's well built, you might still struggle. Probably not with Shu defense, but with Deadly Assault stages, if it's not electric weak, even if you're quite good.
Like first time reviewing him, like I've said it, like I think a lot of people, they pick up Haramasa and maybe they play him for a day and like, oh, he is absolute dog shit. But he is like the character in the game where if you have no idea what you're doing, you will do nothing, nothing. But if you have an idea and you understand his combos and how it's supposed to work, you can do an all right amount of damage, like quite a good amount of damage. But if you don't know what you're doing, you do nothing, literally nothing.
Yeah. I remember I was in the creator beta server.
On his patch. Yeah, same.
Yeah, for Miyabi. Yeah. You were in as well?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see your content, but it's probably because I was so busy making my own content, honestly. But I remember trying him out for the first time, and I opened up his kit and I saw how much stuff was written in there, and I was like, I'll just figure it out. I'll just match some buttons. It'll be fine. And it was a horrendous mistake. And I remember I got on a call with a friend of mine, Kete, who I do the podcast with, and I was like, bro, have you tried Haramasa? And he was like, yeah, what? Like, he's not that great. And I was like, dude, I can't even clear the stage. I don't know what I'm doing.
Funny thing is, I think I started on my Haramasa guide first. Then I was too scared to continuously go through with it because I just felt like I'm I feel like I have an understanding, but I'm too bad at him. I'll just do the Miyabi one instead because I feel like I must be doing something wrong. But then I went back and I just realized, no, I'm doing everything right. It's just it's such a stark comparison if you're playing Miyabi and Haramasa mainly. The damage potential between those two are insanely far apart.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do think when he's played at high levels though, he's he can be pretty good. And he'll definitely get you through your electric weak stages and stuff. But I don't enjoy it.
I played him so much during that creator beta server that I feel a bit done with him. So I haven't built my own, but he feels super satisfying to play. But that being said, I have my Yanagi to get me through the electric stages.
Yeah,
and I run with a Fusion compiler. What engine do you have on your Yanagi?
I was actually thinking about putting Fusion compiler on her, but I've currently got Weeping Jeremiah because you can get those AP buffs up if you continuously squad inflicts attribute anomaly. Yeah. So
and her
they come around quick enough, particularly in disorder teams. They come around enough. In mono shock, it's not as good. But I have been thinking about getting the Fusion compiler for her. But I'm sure I'll come across a Fusion compiler at some point. So I really don't want to spend the points. The residuals.
Yeah, I'll say it will happen. Have you lost, or have you do you pull generally on engine banners?
I pull for characters, but generally not weapons. No. The only weapons I have are Miyabi, because the idea of crit on an anomaly engine just seemed really good for her, obviously, but then also potentially good for other people as well. Because if they're going to start building characters like that need like stats that aren't traditionally associated with certain roles, then basically it just felt like the Wenjin was a pretty good investment. And then I also pulled for Evelyn's against my better judgment, but I am a simp, so
hey, when you find and someone that you feel is kind of gonna be part of like the main squads, it's just nice to get their engine. And also like the effect of Evelyn's engine is
it's almost worth it alone. And also high tier trickster, I'm just going to address you on YouTube chat now. I was surprised by how much I liked her. Okay, he's just saying that I haven't got 350 AP on my Yanagi, which he's right about. But yeah, she's a work in progress at this point.
Yeah, the disc drops
she's a work in progress. Because I think I've been surprised as to how good she's been.
Yeah,
and she was kind of a support for the whole of the Abbey.
So, with how strong Yanagi is, do you reckon that at like a base kit level, Soldier will be stronger than Yanagi? Silver Soldier Ambi.
Silver Soldier Ambi, will they be stronger than
Yanagi?
Yanagi, yeah, they will. Yeah. Will the shocks be better, and will the damage over time be better? Still probably, yeah. I think we're going in that direction, right? Every single character feels like the new best character.
Yes. So so far we haven't really seen any real downgrades for the specialty.
Yeah, I think they're not letting up the steam. The creep is coming in slowly, but it is firm, I think. And please consult the release order tier list. You're not wrong, Jamie. It's literally just the release order of the DPSs, and that is the tier list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think things are just getting stronger and stronger. Honestly, I think Yanagi will still have a place because she's anomaly and not attack. But and she'll benefit, I think, from Ambi being in the meta, because we'll probably get a bunch of electric weak Shiyu stages and deadly assaults. So that'll be nice. So she will benefit from that period if you wanted to run her as a DPS. But I also think that every single character seems like the new best character. So they need to slow down. But I think Ambi will be a big step up over Yanagi. Not a big step, but a step up. What about you?
Yeah. I think since they are characters that work wildly different together, I still think that Yanagi is gonna be like a better teammate for say Miyabi, for example. And I guess we'll see a little bit on like the AoE of Soldier stuff, but yeah. Probably be able to reach the same damage or more damage, but I'm guessing it's gonna take a lot more skill to get there. Like you're gonna have to be a little bit more clued up, which I personally like that with attackers.
I don't necessarily mind that. I think as we go deeper into the game and we get characters like Evelyn, it kind of makes me feel like positive and hopeful for the future that we're going to get characters that you can use to clear the content at a base level, but if you learn how to play them well, you can kind of crush the content, and they're the new best DPS in the game. So if we get characters that are like Haramasa level, except they're when they're played at peak, they're stronger than Miyabi, and they're like Evelyn, then I think that's fine in terms of the direction we're going. But it just can't go any more than that right now. I think we need 6 months to settle down a little bit.
100%. I am a little bit worried about the original cast if they keep ramping it up, and I I personally am glad that Evelyn is not stronger than she is. I think some people might feel disappointed with her because she doesn't get her damage as easy as Miyabi does it. But I'm kind of glad. Like I don't feel like we need the upgrade to Miyabi. Like I'm super happy taking side grades along the way.
Yeah, I'm happy with the side grades. All good. I think though, probably won't get them. I think we're hopeful, but I think things will probably trend upwards for a bit, and that's okay, as long as it kind of stops at some point soon.
Yes. So you said you hadn't played Honkai Star Rail, but I feel like one thing they do very good is in that you have a lot of like different ways, or like there's a lot of like different ways to deal damage, or like different damage types. You can have a character from like the same path and from the same element, but like they still do like a different amount of damage. Like you have follow-up attacks and you have basically like bleed and poison, and like a lot of like different ways. Like they can release an agent, same everything, but they are not even like power creeping each other because they work in so many different ways. Meanwhile, what we do have in Zenless is, damage is damage. Like we don't have like that much of a differentiation between damage.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And what we do have is like, 2 damage classes. We have anomaly and we have attackers. And then the other ones are, basically supplements to those carry specialities.
Yeah. I think that's kind of where we are right now. Yeah. I could see it flexing a little bit though. I can't see them going away from roles completely.
No.
But it wouldn't surprise me if we get characters that do other things. So on my recent video about stunners, I talked about stunners who are only...
Yeah, I actually watched that one. Great one.
Oh, thanks, man. But yeah, who only really care about the stun window and then support stunners. But it also wouldn't surprise me if we get things like damage stunners as well. So stunners who also deal damage over time and kind of enable like different things. And I think that could also happen for defense characters, and then we could also get attack characters who do other things as well. So we could get an attack character that you want to build with impact to daze the enemy, and you want to run kind of like a double attack team, and they work with other attack characters. I think there's a whole bunch of like actually super exciting things that they can do, and I hope that they do start doing that. But yeah, at the moment it does feel very... It feels very straightforward. Yeah, we have our 2 DPS areas. We got the anomaly and the attack, and then everything else is kind of supportive to that in a different way.
Yes, and I am betting a little bit on that. Trigger is probably gonna be able to at least damage as well as stunning, and lighter also dips into other roles like you talk about in the video. He's a stun support, but like his damage is nothing to scoff at, just because he also buffs his own damage by 75%.
Yeah, totally.
He deals that. And was it in the Caesar demo that might have been in the live stream where they had Caesar's voice actor like with them, and she said something like, "Oh, like I'm a defense agent because defense is what I do best." And like that's very true, because Caesar, like especially defense, is kind of a jack of all trades, right? They do a fair amount of damage, they do fair amount of days, like they provide a fair amount of buffs, like they just dip into a little bit of everything, but what they excel over others in is survival so far.
Yeah. But I think Caesar's a really good example of a character that does... It's kind of like you said, that's what she does best, is, she provides that big shield for everyone, but she also, you build her with impact, right? Because she stuns.
Yes.
And then she also provides a huge attack buff and damage buff as well. So, I mean, yeah, it's not as good as, our first limited S-rank support, Astra, in terms of the damage buff, but she's kind of a jack of all trades.
Yes.
And I do see that the direction being defense classes, like that's their niche for the future. Is that they're going to provide defensive utility, like Seth provides a shield as well, obviously not as good as Caesar's, and he doesn't get the interruption resistance, but he gives that small AP buff. So it would be really cool to see a character provide maybe a little bit more for the anomaly teams as well.
Like an S-rank version of S.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think, to be honest, Caesar is still probably just better than Seth because anomaly characters still benefit from that attack. But what if we have one that buffed crit in some way? You know, that would be really cool.
Yeah. There's a bunch of ways they could take it, and I did a video today, like kind of talking about just defense agents, because I feel like we've seen the glow up, or like almost the 2.0 version of all of the other classes. Like if we compare, you know, anomaly agents, like modern anomaly agents to standard banner ones, and same with attackers and supports, and who am I forgetting? Stunners. Meanwhile, defense, they kind of, you know, still work a little bit in the same way. Caesar isn't too much different from like Ben in the way she plays, but Yanagi is worlds apart from Grace, for example. So I definitely think shields are probably, you know, here to stay. But it would be cool if they also, you know, got something else. Maybe an off-field defense agent that comes in, you know, automatically defensive assists if you're about to get hit.
And they kind of jump in and save you or something.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
that would be cool.
Kind of like Miyabi's dodge in the Lost Void if you're about to get hit, but instead, you know, a defense agent comes in and, like, you know, parries.
Oh, and I guess maybe like that little dodge, maybe something could happen, you know, with that little dodge that Miyabi does. She gets a buff at the same time. So sometimes it's beneficial to let yourself get hit, or, you know, let her do the dodge. So basically pretend to get hit. And then she gets that little attack buff as well. So it might be something like that where it's a case of, oh, actually I want to tank this so that, you know, X character can come in and save my ass and give me their shield and buff and stuff. That would actually be sick.
Yeah.
It would reward like smart not dodging, I guess. I guess it would also reward players for like fucking up. But you could argue that if you use it, you know, you can't have it again for 30 seconds. You really want it to be active before, you know, like a stun window or something. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know, it is like, you know, Miyabi's dodge in the Lost Void. I think that one has internal cooldown of, it's either 15 or 20 seconds. But like the buff you get after she's dodged, I think like it's a significant one. Like 40% increased damage or build up or attack. It's like a big one. Like, you want to take that, you know, pretend hit before you actually unleash anything big. And you know, they could go full out crazy with defense. Like, say that, I don't know, they could put up walls, and you know, we have agents that can move characters around a fair bit, but we don't have any agents that can, you know, slam an enemy into a wall and, like, you know, create days. I'm just, you know, hoping here. What if you could put up a wall like behind an enemy, and if you defensive assist with, you know, a specific defense agent, that enemy gets pushed back quite a lot. And if he hits that wall collapses on him, and, you know, days maybe shreds his defense, etc., etc. Could be kind of cool. Like something like that.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's write the Hoyoverse.
Yes, let's do it. So, Average, what's your favorite patch?
Oh, okay. Probably, I mean, it's really boring to say, but it's probably 1.4, right? For me, it's the Miyabi patch. It felt like everything kind of came together in the game. We got the decibel changes, so everyone had their own ults. Yeah. That was really nice. I feel like there's other things that I'm forgetting, but yeah, that was probably my favorite patch so far. I also think, as a creator, I feel like I didn't really. I did hype up Miyabi quite a lot, actually, thinking back on it. But I think I probably could have hyped her up a little bit more. But she is an amazing character. She's very cool. I like her very much as a character, and also from a meta perspective. I feel like what else am I forgetting in 1.4?
1.4 had a lot. They introduced the Lost Void. They introduced the Deadly Assault. Well.
Oh yeah, the Deadly Assault came in.
Yes.
The story itself was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had that Avengers moment where they all came together. And
yes.
Unfortunately, we didn't get all of the voices though, which was a little bit annoying. But...
That definitely, like, you know, took some parts away from it. Like it.
Yeah. Oh, and TV mode got removed. Yeah, that was a huge change. There was so much.
Yeah, I feel like 1.4 was almost their 1.0. Like I feel like that's when they felt happy with the product.
Yeah, it felt like the game was really coming together at that point.
Yeah.
What about you? Because I know you love the Sons of Kaladin, Hako, from what I've seen from you before. So
I do.
I kind of am half expecting you to say either 1.4 or the Sons of Kaladin patch. Was that 1.2?
Yeah, that was 1.2. And story-wise, like the story beat, yeah, you have me pinned. It is the 1.2. Like I don't know, Caesar and Bernice, like the Kaladins, like that. Like I felt more when Caesar like dove into the fire than when I did when Bringer ate shit at the end of 1.4.
Yeah.
But as the game as a whole, I think it's in a much better state after 1.4. So, like if you're just talking story at 1.2, otherwise, yeah, maybe 1.4.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, I think. I mean, if I absolutely loved one particular faction, and that's the story that we got was in a particular, patch, I would probably feel the same way. I think. I do actually. The faction that I like the most so far has been the Stars of Lyra, I think.
Ooh, interesting.
But I actually don't think the story was that great. It was fine, but it wasn't 1.4 good, because 1.4 felt amazing when everyone came together at the end.
Yes, and like I know the game took some flack in the beginning for feeling much more restricted and more closed off. It wasn't an open open world game. But what I feel like nobody was factoring in that it does allow the story to play out the way Zenless has done, and also the events where you do walk down the streets and you basically meet everybody, and it just makes sense storytelling wise that a lot of the other agents are involved with so many different story beats, because they all do live in the same city.
Yeah, and I kind of like that about Zenless Zone Zero, is that every character kind of has but also you as part of random play, it feels like you're just part of this world, and you go to these same 5 or 6 locations over and over again, and it just feels very home. You know what I mean? Because in other large kind of gacha games, and my big frame of reference to that would be something like Genshin.
Yeah,
it feels, it just never feels like you're home, Whereas Zenless Zone Zero feels like home. That's a weird thing to say, I know.
No, but it does. I don't know. This has become such a comfort game for me. Just the music when you load into the random play, it's just damn all the horrors of the real world. Just being embraced by the music, and you find Ben looking at some stray dog that is picked up. I don't know. It just it just has this very homely feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And as you know, Genshin, super big world, but it also feel empty, because you don't have necessarily characters walking around, which they could have implemented actual story characters interacting with the world, but outside of their quest and their events, they're just gone, they're just evaporated.
Yeah things happen and then people just disappear. Whereas in Zenless, you'll just bump into them on the street, and Ambi will just be playing with her phone sat on the truck, and you'll be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
Yeah,
it's nice.
It's just fun. It just makes the world come alive a little bit. I remember the first time I saw Corin, standing hunched over someone. What's this? It's oh, Ellen has fallen asleep on the ground. Corin's trying to wake her up. It's that's just fun.
Yeah. It's kind of just a good vibes game. It feels relaxed and
100%. Do you have any character that we haven't got the confirmation that's gonna become playable that I would really like to see come play?
I'm excited for Vivian, and I'm also excited for, and maybe I'll get your thoughts on this. I'm excited for whatever happens with the future of the Stars of Lyra, because they're kind of the most interesting so far to me. And I think that lore-wise, it doesn't really feel like there's any other element to their faction other than Ambi and... Oh, no, not Ambi. Other than Astra and Evelyn. So it kind of feels like they're done. They're complete. But I feel like we will get someone else at some point. And they've kind of shown that they will add people in to, they are happy to kind of add people in. So, because Necromancer was originally part of the Cunning Hairs and stuff like that. So I think probably what happens is, we get another Stars of Lyra at some point. And I'm kind of interested for that because I really love Evelyn and Astra's vibe. So hopefully we get someone else who's kind of cool.
Could we see the idols be like becoming a part
the Angels of Delusion? Oh, apparently that's what they're called.
Okay, they might have their own thing already.
Yeah. What do you think they might have been? Because were you indicating that they might have been Stars of Lyra?
Or like I know very little about them. So I was like, if they're kind of gonna be the celebrity faction, could the idols maybe fit into that?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. There's a chance that changes, but I think that when they were, when the leaks were officialized around the around the idols, I think they kind of said that they were referred to as the Angels of Delusion. So whether or not that means that they roll that back and include them in the Stars of Lyra, or they're their own thing, I don't know. But it seems like they were planned to be part of their own faction.
I see, because it feels like if I had to put money on it, I wouldn't say that they would leave the Stars of Lyra with only 2 members.
I agree. I think we'll get one eventually, but I think
what does their additional ability say? Do they trigger with faction?
No.
It's only stunner and something with...
Yeah, they're incredibly flexible, both of them.
Stun or support for Evelyn.
Yeah, stun or support for Evelyn. So basically any coherent team.
Yeah, and attack or anomaly with Astra. Ooh, okay.
Again, basically any coherent team.
Okay, yeah, because I was
What about you? Is there anyone you're looking forward to?
Big Daddy. Big Daddy.
The leader of the Sons of Kaladin.
Ex-leader, yes.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, sorry. Of course. But yes, the leader of the Sons of Kaladin.
Dude, I would love Big Daddy. Also, hello, love. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. I would love Big Daddy. And I feel like he's been in it like enough that I feel like they're teasing Big Daddy. I feel like I'm more that like I lean towards that I think he'll be coming rather than not.
Yeah, by all means. I think the fact that he's in the game, full stop, means that we're going to get him eventually.
Right.
Really? He say 3rd Stars of Lyra, who's a defense agent, no synergy. That's what someone just said. Yeah, I mean, that's possible though, right? Because whoever they... Here's the thing, as I think I've talked about this before, is that with the way that they're back-to-backing these characters that work really well together, put Evelyn Astra into Evelyn, and now they're going to put Silver Soldier Ambi into Trigger. It feels like they're kind of telling us that we need to, if we want to stay free-to-play or low-spend players, we need to prep more. And I think, if they're going to release another character for the Stars of Lyra, it'll either be around a Stars of Lyra rerun, or it will have no synergy with the existing Stars of Lyra characters, and it will be a new pair, potentially, so we get a new 2, or we get one who's just really good with someone else. So you could also argue that like Lighter's really good with Evelyn, right? So maybe a character runs again, or a character runs for the first time. Maybe Vivian runs for the first time, and we get someone who's just like absolutely bonkers from the Stars of Lyra running after her, potentially. Yeah. I'm just spitballing here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they buff, they buff whatever she does, Snap needs 2 Stars of Lyra, so I think there'll be a 3rd one. Yeah, I agree.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that is right.
That is true.
We do have Snap that might be a little bit of a hope that we get another Stars of Lyra.
Yeah, because without another Stars of Lyra, it means you can only really run. Well, I mean, you can run him with anyone because he's actually the best Bangbu. But yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can only get his additional ability to be active, which I think is the heals that he gives.
Yeah. He only starts healing after he has his B activated.
Exactly.
If you got the new Stars of Lyra member, what kind of characters do you think they'd be? Like stars in director, producer, actor?
Someone who works in PR.
yeah, someone. Yeah.
Just be their office bod.
But touching in on like additional abilities, what's your take on those? Because I'm almost surmising that we'll start to see maybe someone that has like 3 different requirements. Because at the moment it does lock us out of like, you know, some teams. I think the one that pissed me off the most was that I can't run Miyabi, Lighter, and Bernice, and that would have been, you know, would have felt like the perfect team where both of the carries would have benefited from Lighter, but just because I can't, because the additional ability doesn't allow me to.
Yeah. I think if we go down that route, it kind of comes back to that very early conversation we had, like at the start of this conversation, where we was talking about indirect buffs.
Yeah.
And I think if we get to a point where we're having like 3 additional ability, you know, like triggers that need to be active.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it will be because they want to specifically buff someone who's older or something along those lines. That would be my thought process. I also don't think that they want to make the characters too flexible. I don't know. I'm all over the place today.
No, you're doing great.
What about you? What do you think?
Like I said, it's just like I remember having like such a stick up my butt with just, you know, the light, because Miyabi and Bernice, they work great together. Like like light would have fit that so perfectly, but it's just this silly little limitation that, you know, just stops me. And
I think the thing with Lighter as well is that his additional ability is so good.
Oh yeah.
It's not like maybe we can just like do it without. No. It's really really good.
And in that team it would be Miyabi that was without her additional ability, and that one is equally important because
because of Bernice's Sons of Kaladin as well. Yeah. But yeah, again, Miyabi. Yeah, there's no way you could get away without her.
Yeah, and also then with Miyabi, I'm like, dude, why is it section 6 or support? I feel like they picked support, you know, just to sell Astra, because like her kit, it would have made more sense with Anomaly. Which was also like, you know, one of the grabs. I feel like that was a patch where I, you know, clashed the most with the additional ability, because, you know, it kept messing with me.
Yeah. Someone in my YouTube chat, Kuno, he said the last 4 agents don't have element requirements, so they might be moving away from mono element being required. I think that's a good thing. Though.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think that's a really good thing, because I think mono element's kind of boring, and also disorders, even if you get them accidentally, are huge wins. Like even if you're running an attack team with, say, you know, Evelyn and Astra, and you manage to proc an order between the ether and the fire, great.
Yeah.
Like it's just extra. It's just free damage.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it is a lot of it. Like it is so much. It's so much damage.
Yeah. It's not insignificant.
And yeah, then, you know, being somewhat of an Ellen main, it's just, you know, I look at her additional abilities and like, god damn it, it's like either Victoria Housekeeping or Ice, and most of Ellen's best team now like doesn't have her active. And if she was released today, I think it would, you know, just any stun agent would have been fine. And the bada bing, bada boom.
And I think she would have scaled better moving forward, because then you could have run her with Lighter without needing like a connecting piece.
Yes, exactly. Like what I do now mostly, if I want my Ellen to be as dangerous as possible, I run Caesar and Lighter. And, you know, that doesn't activate her additional ability, but her additional ability is only a stacking ice damage that caps out at 30. So it's not the end of the world. It's not like Miyabi level.
Yeah. It does add up though. It's nice to have.
Yeah. Like
it'd be nice to have it if you could.
100%.
If you didn't have to worry about it.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm guessing at some point we'll get a designated S rank stunner, not stunners, S rank ice support, like the S rank version of Sokaku.
Oh, someone just said on my YouTube chat, I think all Void Hunters will have unique elements as well. I think that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I've heard that circulate as well, and I could be down with that. I found it kind of cool that Miyabi works different.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
So, Average, were you on the team that thought she was gonna do fire and ice damage on the start?
No, I think I made like 3 pre-Miyabi videos because I'm just a huge Miyabi simp, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think I remember saying that I thought she was ice, but I also said other things as well.
Yeah, I think the part that got me is like her frost symbol is literally the ice symbol, but they've like taken the fire symbol and like just copied it to like 4 points to like make the frost.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm buying this. Like that was my conspiracy theory. Like, yeah, this is canon.
Yeah, I think I might have mentioned it. Yeah.
But yeah,
Miyabi lost the community vote to Ellen, though. No, they didn't. Nem. Sorry, I'm just.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Oh, to Ambi. Oh no, that's true. Yeah, we did a vote for like the best character as voted for my community, and Ambi won. So
wait, best character as in like just
the
most
best character in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the most well-liked character in the game.
Ambi?
Yep, Ambi won. Yeah.
Why? Chat,
whoa.
Why?
Wow.
Like,
wow.
Don't get me wrong, but isn't she boring?
Whoa. Not our burger girl.
But that's her entire personality. It's a lack of personality, and it is burgers.
She's really cute. She does the little music, and she roars.
But so is Corin, and she has a chainsaw.
No, Ambi's cuter than Corin.
I'm sorry, chat. Don't come at me.
She eats the burger. She watches the cinema. Oh, she is cinema.
Put that
I love
away.
Ambi's
Yeah.
gameplay.
I'll stop talking.
I don't know about that.
I do have some very good things to say about Ambi, though. I'm not sure if you've seen it, Average, but every rotation of Critical Shiyu, I clear it with only A ranks. And
very nice.
Which has forced me to build Ambi, and I gotta say, I think a lot of people overlook her. We got an Ambi for free, right? Like doing the story, or do we not?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you get it right at the start of the game. She's like the free one that you get.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people that are used to Genshin, they look at Ambi like Amber, and think that she's not very good, but like she's
because she's free. Yeah,
she's freaking good. Like he is very, very competent as a stunner. Like,
yeah. I mean, she kind of does what she's supposed to do. Yeah. She's not bad. I think the decibel changes really benefited her as well. With because the fact that she can use the ult now, and it does a lot of days.
It does
really good.
Yeah. I definitely feel like support, defense agents in some cases, and stunners, they got the biggest buff out of the decibel change. Because otherwise you would never see them, but now they are like an extra. They're like an extra weapon in your arsenal.
Oh yeah, totally, absolutely, yeah.
Like one of my favorite things is if I'm running Caesar and Pompey is I can tell when he's starting to get cheeky, and you just ulti, you like sit down. Like no.
I can tell when he's starting to get cheeky.
Yeah. Then he just gets to eat a shield in his face.
Yeah. Yeah, people are saying like, she does his days, but if that's what you want, then she does okay. Yeah, I agree. She's fine. It's a shame that she doesn't buff the stun window at all, but she still goes in that bracket of stunners, because that's all she does really, is she builds up her own impact, and then she does damage as well. I
Yeah.
think you can build her for a damage quite competently,
Yeah.
but it's I think that's a super end game thing that
Last
I'm not even really
critical
dabbling
shoe, I kid you not, I would not have gotten past it if I hadn't like resorted into DPS Ambi. Like she literally carried. Because there's a lot of like electric weak stages, and we don't have many electric A ranks. And like I should build Anton, but it's Anton, so I don't want to build Anton. Resources are scarce.
Yeah, resources are scarce. I did build Anton though, a little bit. Bless him.
Bless him. What's your favorite What's your favorite A rank?
Okay, you do yours first.
Piper.
Yeah, I know. It's obviously Piper. It's always been Piper. No, wait, it's not Piper. I'm sorry. It's Nicole.
Oh, it's Nicole. Dude,
Yeah.
No, I feel a little bit mean. Like I said Piper so fast, but then I can hear Corin crying. like I genuinely fucking love to play Corin. Like I love to play Corin.
No judgment. Corin's pretty cool. She's got a giant chainsaw. There's nothing that's uncool about that.
No,
it's very cool.
Yeah, and like I've lost so many like Enion rolls to what's it called, Steel Cushion. Like I have that one at 3-star. So like if like my Corin will like disintegrate people if she's in their ass.
We just need physical weakness for you. That's what we need. We just need some physical weakness.
Yes, and I'm hoping that my Corin will, go wild with Pulsra. Hopefully.
We'll see. Yeah, that's another A rank.
Yeah, it's another A rank. So like,
yeah,
I'm like the only person in the world like more excited about Pulsra than I am of Zombie, because like, yes, A rank. My A rank team is getting a buff. Because it is really hard to like run Corin now as a carry, because the only A rank stunner is Ambi, which and it just puts a lot of limitation, because if I then run Ambi and Nicole, Corin's additional ability is not active. Like the team I can run her in is like Lucy and Piper, but yeah, then I like a stunner.
Tough. Yeah, that's tough.
That is tough. That being said, I'm glad we're getting another A rank, but since I was anticipating I was excited about Pulsra, I feel a little bit robbed that she's an A rank.
Well, that just means you get her M6, which means you get to have her like half naked,
Very true. Very true.
So what do you think about the current pace with the A ranks? Do you think that's going to change?
So Pulsar is going to be the second one we get in... How long has the game been out now? Is it 8 months? Or 7?
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah, around that ballpark. We were definitely due for one. We were definitely due getting a new one, because the only addition we've had is Seth. And like we have generally lacked characters. Like the game didn't release with a super wide roster. Like it released with only Nicole as the only Ether character. Like we want to talk about having Bangbo active, like Reson, but couldn't even be active in the start of the game. I do think it's good. I do think.
Do you think we should get more, or?
I would almost like like a decent carry A rank for the next one. Maybe proper ice carry. Just to help out, like a more easy accessible option for the peeps that missed out on Miyabi, for example. Like ice still keep pretty allocated, and Ether most of all. Like
I think Ether might. I remember. I think it's an interview or something that's been translated, like a dev one, where they said that something along the lines of trying to keep Ether as a kind of rare element. Yeah. So I think we might not see that much Ether, but you're right though. It would be nice to see more roles being filled, if that makes sense, from like a element perspective.
Yes.
Because we don't have things like stuns that are Ether, for example, But
no, exactly.
And there's probably other ones that I'm not thinking of right now. But I think there are definitely gaps. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Unlimited gaming, just build DPS Sokagu for that. I've actually done that. Like, I have an entire video series of just Sokagu mowing through shit, and I gotta say, Sokagu at M6 with a fully refined engine, she is Ellen level. Like, she is basically at Ellen level.
It's not looking so good for Ellen, though. Huh?
No, like, bless her. Like, I love her. Like, I love Ellen. I think she's a good character at M0. I think she's a much smoother character at M1, and to me, she transforms into the most fun character in the game at M2. But that being said, I never advise anybody to go that deep. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really a Mindscape player, but yeah, I can see the appeal though of hyper investing. But yeah, I think it's.
But yeah,
we're pretty early in the game.
I like the way Zenless does it, where very few. Like, I feel like Ellen has been the most like Mindscape hungry agent, because like a lot of like quality of life is locked behind the Mindscapes. We haven't really seen that after Ellen. Like, I'm super happy with, you know, I have most agents just M0, and like I feel like that's good. But coming from Genshin, they quite often they put, you know, substantial power spikes at M2. The character, you know, gets significantly better at that point.
Yeah, I agree. They do tend to kind of sometimes lock things that feel almost part of the base kit behind other things. And to be honest, as someone who didn't pull Ellen, leaves me feeling a little smug. But as someone who, you know, we don't want the game to be like that full stop for anyone who enjoys it, right? So yeah, it's good that the Mindscapes have felt like, you know, like nice little extras as opposed to necessities. Yeah, exactly. What do you think about Ju? Someone asked a question a minute ago that I was going to ask you. How does Ju-Yuan look in terms of falling off? This is a good question. I think that they're both the 1.0 attack agents, though, right? But I think Ju-Yuan feels like she's got more staying power at the moment.
I think so, especially if we're seeing a resurgence of, like, you know, stunner. Like, you know, you might argue the stunner isn't that important, but that is also because, like, very few people are right now running attacker teams where, like, you know, stunners and attackers are like, you know, they are the power couple. I think a base kit Ju-Yuan is maybe more valuable than Ellen, if that makes sense. Like, he is gonna stay for long.
So what you're saying is I was right then, Hako. That's what you're saying.
Well, no. No, like when I did my pulling advice for Ellen as well, like I was so clear, like, you know, if you're expecting Miyabi levels, like there were so many, like, you know, if this and this and this and this, like, don't. But if I was gonna start over again, or like if I had started on the Ellen's Rira banner, I would still have pulled Ellen, just because to me she is so much fun, and like meta be fucking damn. Like, I care almost nothing about meta. I want a fun character. It's supposed to be fun to play, and I need to vibe with them in the story. Like, if they're a complete, like, jerk in the story, I don't want them.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah,
or
waifu
the
first.
story.
Waifu first.
Yeah.
Let's go. Waifus.
Since we're getting, like, zombie as a like, that answers a question I've been having for a long time. Like, are we gonna see different versions of the same character? And we're doing that with Anbi. What do you think is the next character to get that treatment?
I just saw someone mention it in the Twitch chat, but yeah, Billy. Locked in Billy. I think there's been a little bit of chat about locked in Billy because the Sons of Kaladin have kind of indicated that he was holding back, specifically Lighter, I think. Yeah. Was saying that he was holding back and he could do so much more if he wasn't holding back or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly the language that was used, but it does seem that Billy could be the next choice for locked in Billy.
Yes.
So yeah, and I was just messing around with Billy in the perpetrator mode, and it just feels quite slow and clunky.
Yeah.
And I would love just a really fast-paced, up-in-your-face Billy, kind of maybe a little bit more physical and a little less, you know, a little bit more up close is what I was going to say.
Yes,
might be kind of cool.
I'm just double checking. You do know that he is significantly slower in that mode. Like he trades.
Oh yeah. He's meant to be slower in that mode. But yeah, it just felt very clunky, is what I was saying. But what about you? What do you want to see?
Well, what I would like to see would be Corin, and I was thinking the Pokemon Machamp, so like 2 extra arms and a saw in each. I think could be very cool.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm so down. 100.
But the one I think we might be getting is Billy. Like, I don't know, Red Scarf Billy, or you something.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think lore-wise, he's the one. After Ambi is the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah,
I think Corin. Oh, dude, yes.
From what we know so far, Corin would be cool. I think if we had, I think you could kind of make an argument now for like a whole bunch of the A ranks to get S rank versions. I mean, if we're getting Ambi, I think you said Nicole just a sec. Yeah. Nicole, that would be nice. Yeah. Nicole's great, but she's just got the outfit, so I feel like we're a long way off of that. I think Piper and Lucy S ranks would go hard. Fed Sukaku would go hard.
Yes.
She's no longer hungry. She's actually locked in.
How about her master refresh with his half-turned ethereal? That could be cool, like the one we got to see in the agent story. Like,
yeah,
he looked cool.
I do think that would be cool, but I just think we're probably, what's the word? Like, he's already an S rank,
Yes.
So it feels unlikely.
Yeah, we don't know if they're gonna do it like that yet, where S ranks gets other S rank agents. Like say that lore-wise Ellen graduates and she joins Section 6. Like can we get Section 6 Ellen?
Cool.
That could be fucking awesome. It just I'm not sure. As an Ellen main, I'm sure I would be psyched, but it would also be like, oh, do I take my bad Ellen or my good Ellen for this job?
I wonder if, though, maybe if they did that to an S rank that people had pulled for, if they sell like an upgrade, or something. Maybe you have to farm to get some kind of gear or something, and then you unlock her Lost Void abilities, something along those lines. And then, if you really want, and the lore reason behind that is that she joins Section 6 or something.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to support it more directly as well, then she gets a new skin or something.
I would definitely be. I'd definitely be all up for like some small upgrade to make that happen. But we'll see. I think that's a further away step, like getting different versions of all the S rank agents, like you said, and we'll probably more see A ranks being upgraded.
Yeah, absolutely not a high schooler, Ellen. Yeah, absolutely.
Jane in a police outfit. Oh, that's also a good one. I reckon that the next one to absolutely get the skin, I would say, is probably Jane. What do you think, Average?
Yeah, I think we'll see who's rerunning next patch. But yeah, I've got a feeling we might get skins coming thick and fast.
Yes.
I feel like that could be taken out of context, what I just said there, but but yeah, if Jane is rerunning, I think there's a pretty high chance that we get a skin. If Jane's skin isn't ready, I think they delay her until her skin is ready, kind of like the Ellen rerun search, where they rerun her and give us the skin. I think that in terms of the skin popularity, I imagine that Zenless Zone Zero's skin popularity will be a lot higher than other Hoyo games like HSR and Genshin. And I think they know that because they've introduced it a lot sooner. And the kind of... I mean, we know what we're doing here, Hako. We're playing Zenless Zone Zero. It's...
What are you insinuating?
I'm insinuating that we're playing Waifu Simulator 3000. And it's brilliant. I love every second of it. But... It's definitely a bit heavy on the fan service, and They know that, and I think if they lean into that and they give us a cool Jane skin on her rerun, they give us a cool, Yanagi at home skin on her rerun. Oh my god, let's go.
Dude, just take off Yanagi's glasses like she does in that one story beat, and watch me pay a 10 pull for that.
Yeah, watch me. Yeah, shut up and take my money.
Yeah, and speaking of skin, the glasses stay on. No, they go off. And speaking of, I know you have a burning hate for Ellen, but did you do her Agent story?
Yeah, I did. I don't hate her. I think her design is probably
her with every piece of your being. But
her design is probably the best in the game. I'm not overly keen on her character because I feel like, by the time I could have pulled her at the start of the game, she was too what's the word? It was too much of a risk because I kind of wanted Ju-Yuan and I couldn't kind of get both.
Yeah.
And then by the time the rerun came around, it was post me Abby, so it just didn't feel like appropriate to pick her up. But I actually do think that her design is probably the best in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's we don't have another shark girl. Come on.
No.
Come on.
We don't. And
yeah.
Just everything fucking about her. Everything about her. From all the small little Easter eggs on her traditional outfit, which are all sadly lost on her schoolgirl one. But there's so many small little details, just her outfit, and she's just so well crafted. And then the fact that her gameplay is literally shark gameplay. You.
Oh yeah, totally.
You roam around and go in for these heavy hits and nab at your. It's just magnificent. I just love it. I used to wish she had been released a little bit later, so she had gotten the Evelyn treatment. More of her stuff that's in Mindscapes would have been base kits, etc.
Yeah. I think if she'd been released a little bit later, that would have been nice. Very, very nice. I just put in a link to a YouTube video because someone asked for it. You save that and watch it later. It's
okay. I'll save it.
This girl is in high school. AI music video. It's quite funny. I'm not watching it now, Jack Squatch. I think my chat's freaking out because they don't want me to watch it now.
All right. Don't. Also, feel super free to tend to the raid as well, average.
Oh, Jay Stern, thank you so much for the raid, buddy. I know you don't normally hang around, but I hope you had a good stream, dude. Thank you very much for the raid, guys. Welcome in. If you don't know me, my name is Average Luck Gamer, and I make cool videos on the internet about Zenless Zone Zero. Right now, we're chatting with someone else who makes cool videos on the internet, Hako, which is super fun. It's been a very nice chat. I don't know how much longer we're going to go for, Hako. I kind of need to pee a little bit, but
I also need to pee.
So maybe we're going to take an ad break in a moment.
That sounds good.
Yeah. But yeah, this is we're recording Coffee with Hako, but it's been a really nice, good chat, and we might do a little bit of a fishing competition and answer questions from chat in a moment. While we're doing that might be kind of fun. Yeah. But yeah, pee break probably in a moment. I feel bad that a bunch of people probably come in. They're gonna break our ads. Yeah, a bunch of people probably come in from J-Stern. So maybe we should yap for another 10 minutes. See if we can get a few people to hang around.
Absolutely.
But thank you very much for the raid, though, J-Stern. Much appreciated.
Yeah, I'm wearing my adult diapers today.
Heard that school in ZZZ Universe lasts till 21 years old. Thank God for that. Thank God for that, Darkfall. Either make her of age or nerf her tits. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. So in terms of design then, so we're just talking about character design.
Yeah.
Ellen, I agree. I do think Ellen is number one. I think, the shark girl thing is very, very cool. Who do you think is number two?
So here's the thing.
Fighting? Take me.
I love the Fire Ants. I think that the Fire Ant concept that they've established in this universe is fucking great. It can make for some super interesting designs. And I prefer them to more Ellen and Jane, where they are humanoid mostly with some animal parts. like Lycon is too much furry for me.
I shall follow your orders.
Some people like that, Hako.
Yeah, so, some people like that. Not me. I was sitting at when I started this and I was live streaming. Like my first, I was Zenless on 0. I reached my 50 pull, and like I got an S rank. I was literally screaming anything but the furry, and then Master Lycon at my service. Like yeah, he is a go-to character, but he's a little bit too furry for me.
Which alias should I use this?
So how do you feel about Ben?
No, okay.
How can I help?
I like Ben. I think Ben is cool because how to say it? How to explain this? I don't feel like Ben is designed to tickle the fanny of the furry community. Meanwhile, I do think that they knew what they were doing with Lycon. And why does he have a gag ball mask on?
No, we were going to ask about your number 2 one, but I saw a question in chat from Lamar just a second ago. Pulchra. So Lamar, what was I going to say? Lycon isn't too much furry, but Pulchra's kind of pretty furry.
She is pretty furry, and I don't.
But you're like, but it's okay because she has breasts. I think that's what you're saying.
You know what? In the absence of a better explanation, I think that might be it.
Honesty is the best policy, Hako.
But my second best, I would say Jane, but I'm changing it. I'm saying Caesar. To me, Caesar is the coolest fucking character that Hoyo has ever done.
Oh, I think I remember seeing one of your videos where you mentioned that. Yeah.
I don't know. I just love everything about it.
She does have a striking design. It's just very what's the word? Knightly, I guess.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word. Yeah.
Yeah, She, I don't know, she just looks so fucking badass. Like, she looks like she could pound you into pulp. But that being said, Average, have you seen the concept design that they had for Caesar?
Oh, with the bikini straps?
No, not the string bikini mod. Or are we talking?
Oh. I swear I saw a concept design for Caesar that was it was very revealing. It was like a strappy bikini, basically.
Chat, help me out. Does her original concept have that? Because her original, she has this long armor that almost is like a dress. Her shield is a lot bigger. I think her sword is bigger. Like, she just looked like as some medieval vanguard unit, and what we got is kind of toned down. I don't think there was a string bikini in that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I must be getting confused with something else then. Yeah.
What happens if we just, instead of putting in Caesar string bikini, we put in concept Caesar Zenless. Okay, you just do that for me, Average, if you have the time. Just Google concept Caesar Zenless.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
I'm on it right now. Yeah, see, that's not the image that I thought it was, but did someone is saying that they remember seeing the string bikini? Yeah.
There is definitely a mod for it. Like, I've even seen someone stream with that mod on Twitch.
I was sure it was concept art, but maybe it's Bio Fedorok is saying that they remember it. Yeah, I agree. It was somewhere.
Wait, there's another concept art with a string bikini?
Next image. Oh, it's literally the next image over. I've got it. Yes. See, this is it.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing it. Okay, but that's the question. Is that someone that has gooned the original art?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Mysteries of the web.
I love the way everyone was like, it's right there. It's the next image over. I just was like, I thought it was the same image, guys, because it looked very close together on my screen. But yeah, that does look like a string bikini situation.
I like a current design way better. Like
I think so too.
They've toned it down, like definitely. Like maybe it is more like she looks out of place in that design. That being said, if they rerun her next patch, I think it would be kind of cool to, like, if we were to get that as a Caesar skin. And I'm not talking about the string bikini version. It can be the fully armored up.
I thought that's what you were saying. I was like, what?
No, I'd never seen that
yes,
one before.
Yes, Hako, of course we want bikini skins. I don't know how we'll... yeah, okay, sure.
Her old design is straight out of Monster Hunter. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, that's too funny. But yeah, I do hope that we get more skins. And I think in terms of second best design for me, just to rewind the conversation a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You said you were gonna say Jane and then you changed your mind to Caesar. I think it is. You know what? I'm gonna say Jane and then I've changed my mind last second and switched to Ju-Yuan.
Oh, okay. Cake Yuan.
Yeah, Cake Yuan. I just think she's neat.
yeah.
I just think that she's very cool. She's super bouncy, and I like that. And like I like all of the big guns and stuff. I just kind of wish that she didn't have that silly little cape. But yeah.
yeah. I get what you mean about the cape.
But other than that, yeah, I think she's very cool. I like the way she kind of switches between her guns. She's got all of her bits and bobs on her, and she kind of like. I love the way that the animations kind of work, where she's kind of like switching between them. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Bouncy? What do you mean? I'm being called out again.
When we get the Hako bang boom. Oh, we already have it. It's called Red Bockus. But yeah, Eugene is not a bad pick.
Yeah. I also feel like she was my first waifu, you know?
Yeah.
You always remember your first, Hako.
You do. And I feel like Miyabi had such a glow up. Once she stopped once she stopped being a horse Firen, and
with the wide eyes.
Yeah, they fixed her eyes.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she and I think that her ears are the right size as well.
Yes,
those ears seem good to me.
And they're just a little bit fun. Like I've been recording a guide for like Perpetrator Battle, and like there's just lots of fun stuff. Do you know that she is the only character that like stretches out of her border, and of course it is her ears. It caused a little bit of problem when I was cropping it out because the ears are so big.
Bless her.
But
yeah, Miyabi's great.
Miyabi's great, and I really like Evelyn's design as well. Like I don't know, her and Astra probably have like the prettiest eyes in the game. Like, and Astra, especially if you're in, is it the equipment page where she's like staring straight at the camera? Yeah, it is. Like staring straight into the camera, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, but I do think that Astra's eyes are great, and in particular on that equipment page. Yes, I do agree. But they're very similar in color. They're slightly different in color to the most of everyone else's eyes, which I think is meant to be the brown eye, which is Khalida.
Yeah, like the brown, reddish, the Jujuan grays, and
but yeah, I know you did already mention Eve's eyes, but Eve, the striking bluey, purpley eyes.
Yeah,
ooh. Yeah. Very. They just feel very different to all of the other eyes.
They do, and I think that's the main reason I'm a little bit sad that we're not gonna get to see Trigger's eyes. Because they do eyes so freaking well in this.
Honestly, it's what's putting me off of Trigger. Genuinely. As a character, I know we don't really know anything much about her, and we've only really seen the concept art at this point. But yeah, I just think if she doesn't take the mask off, I just don't know if I can get invested.
Yeah, like because the eyes are literally like the mirror into the soul, and it feels a little bit sad if we're not getting the eyes at all. And then some bastard in my chat said that she looks like a mass-produced Nikkei from Nikkei Goddess of Victory. And after that, I can't really unsee it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hopefully, maybe when she ultimates, her visor comes off, which feels weird. It should be the other way around.
That's maybe kind of like Evelyn. Once you ult, the jacket comes off forever. Maybe the mask comes off forever.
Maybe, and I think that's such a cool thing about Evelyn. It's that she has a physical change after doing her ultimate, and she also enters into this increased state, which is also kind of unique, because if we look at the first ultimates from when did ultimates start actually doing stuff? Jane?
Yeah, because you got the it reactivated your passion window, and you got the Salco jump back again.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first one where there was a lasting effect to it. Yeah.
Because if we just look at the standard cast, Grace's ult is a disgrace, pun intended.
Grace's ult is a disgrace.
Yeah. You guys keep talking about the best design and stuff, but what about the worst gameplay model-wise? I'm not sure if we should talk about that. Once I sneezed that Ambi isn't, the most fun character alive. I almost got killed. So do you want to go first, Average? What's your
should we do let's say that we're gonna wrap up the conversation with this and say let's do worst gameplay and best gameplay, and then P break, and then fishing competition while actually reading chat a little bit better.
That sounds good.
Okay, so should we do worst gameplay first?
Okay, we're talking gameplay wise. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna be hated. I've already clicked on the character, so I think people are gonna know what I'm gonna say. But I don't really like Soldier 11's gameplay. And I think it's because I just can't get my head around the rhythm and the timing. And I think that's basically it. I think with Soldier 11,
that's fucked up.
What's annoying? People are saying skill issue. People are saying Anton. I can see it, but I also know as well that if you use your EX specials and your ult at the right time, then you can kind of avoid having to do the tapping and the rhythm. But the thing was that when I pulled Soldier 11, she was one of my first S ranks, and I was actually genuinely excited. And I think it just felt like such a... I just immediately felt low after I started playing her, and I was like, oh no, I keep messing this up. It's really annoying, and I just felt a little bit frustrated, basically.
Yeah, so you didn't fully take the time to learn her.
Yeah. And then, to be honest, I was thinking about it, and then Evelyn came out, and Evelyn got announced, and I was like, well, that's it. I'm not building her anymore. Done. We're moving on. But I do think that there are a couple of others who do deserve warrant and mention, and I do think Anton is the other one. Honestly, he's just a bit snore to play. Honestly.
Yeah. He's one of the only characters I have not built.
Yeah.
Because,
okay. So what about you? Worst gameplay?
So.
We fighting?
I haven't honestly played Soldier enough to say that I don't like her gameplay, because she was actually the last 5-star I pulled, and I think I lost a 50-50 on, I think it was as late as either Caesar or Bernice's banner. So by that point I felt no need at all to use her. What little I have used is her combos are fine, but I kind of feel like they excel against a training dummy, because you need to keep your rhythm, and that rhythm doesn't, as far as I know, as far as I can play Soldier, doesn't react too much to what the enemy is doing. Meanwhile, I find Evelyn to be maybe I'm finding Evelyn what some Soldier fans are finding Soldier, because I do know that Soldier has a very passionate fan base that really loves her. But to me, Evelyn is just the smoothness and the reactiveness and the tits that people make Soldier out to be. But
Oh, sorry. I thought we were actually talking about breasts there for a second.
well, I'm gonna say Grace, and this fucking saddens me because looking at the Standard Banner cast after meeting her in the story,
Start the experiment.
I was the most excited about Grace. I even picked her from my 300 selector, and when Yanagi came out, I realized she is absolute dog shit. Sadly.
She's pretty bad, but I think because Electric Anomaly is still good, Shock, like as a when you apply it, it's still good. I think she'll always be usable.
Yeah,
But you're right, she's not good.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, it's the meme from Rick and Morty. It's like, what was I made for? It's like, yeah, you're made to get rid of the robot shield. Like, I wanted her to be so much more. I wanted her to be so much more.
She did carry my early game. I do remember that. She was my first S rank, and she carried my early game. Bless her. And yeah, the game has moved on.
The game has moved on. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, she'll always be usable because Shock is such a good damage over time, which means that disorders work really well with Shock. But she's never, yeah, like she's just been outclassed at this point, like way outclassed.
Yeah, and to me, she's one of those characters. Like, I would almost like to see what they would cook up if they gave her gear in the Lost Void. Like, if we got to see a modern take of Grace with all of her gear supplied, I think she could, be insane, possibly.
Potentially, yeah, she could be crazy good, but it seems unlikely that they would do that because she's not a limited S rank. No one is pulling for Grace at this point.
True.
Unless we get like a standard selector on like the anniversary or something.
I could see that happening. That's also one of the things at this current pace. Like, imagine, like in Honkai Story now for the second anniversary, we got to pick one character from the Standard Banner. It's like, nice, I get to pick.
Zenless, it might be on the first, yeah.
yeah. But it's like, I get to pick one of these dog shits. Like, they are so far left in the dust by this point that it's not even funny. Yeah. And I'm guessing that's, gonna be even more with Zenless because they are progressing at a faster rate than the previous titles.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so who do you think is the most fun to play then? Let's kind of wrap up the coffee with that conversation.
Ellen past M2. Ellen past M2.
Of course.
Then Evelyn, then Jane, I would say. What about you?
Well, I don't really have that frame of reference for Ellen past M2.
Hey,
but I actually
Average. Would you like to ride my shark at some point?
Just the way you said that, though, it's
I can ride my shark.
I don't know if I can stand up right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, at some point that sounds fun. But is that allowed on Twitch? I don't know, man. But I actually think that Evelyn's the most fun that I've had at this point. Because I feel that her, and we said this before when we started talking about her, but I feel like that her skill ceiling is so high. Yeah. Like, so she feels really great when you get good with her. But I also think that when you first start playing with her, it's kind of pretty obvious what her kit does and how she works. And then, you start also building in, the special dodges as well and all of that kind of stuff. And it feels really great when you kind of start putting all of that together. She's super cool. She's very fun to play. Yeah.
She's like a great one to master. Like, was that this week? I think it was the beginning of this week. I was like doing a bunch of like comparisons between the Brimstone, like her signature one. Like, I played Evelyn for like 10 hours that day, and by the end of those 10 hours, I was like so much better than I was in the beginning, and like I could just feel that. Like, it was, I don't know, it's just a very, very nice character to master.
Yeah, I agree. Just a very nice character to feel good at, and that's also why I like Yanagi as well, I think. So that would probably be my second.
What do you think of Yanagi in the Lost Void? Like, because you said you like her parries. Like, her parries are on crack in the Lost Void. You get so much reward for actually like nailing them.
No, I think that she's fantastic in the Lost Void. I'm not sure exactly how it worked in the Lost Void. I'm not gonna lie. But when you parry the rockets and she just does a free ult, I'm
Yes.
like,
Yeah, 3 ults, 3 chain attacks, and
yeah.
let's not forget disappearing up into the sky, just raining down thunder.
Oh, yeah, when you actually do the specials,
Yeah.
she's just yeah. Again, if that Lost Void kit makes its way into the game and you have to kind of like earn it in some way,
Yeah.
maybe you have to grind it out. Yeah, I'm grinding the fuck out of that shit.
Yeah, that could be absolutely great. And I feel like for the Lost Void, Ellen and Yanning are probably the one that becomes like the most fun with the stuff that they're getting. Like Miyabi gets a bunch of upgrades, but she doesn't necessarily get any super flashy, like more fun stuff. It's more
it doesn't really change the way she plays.
No, exactly.
Whereas with Yanagi and Ellen, it does, because Ellen gets that extra combo because she gets that extra.
Oh yeah,
slash
the extra blade, and dude, it just feels so good. And
yeah,
and I said this the first time I covered this mode. Like my one gripe with it is that once you're done with it, or like once you're out of it, like your characters feel lesser. It's like you play them on crack. Now it's like, oh, go back and play them not on crack. It's like, oh, did I miss this?
Yeah, totally.
All right, should we do a P break?
Yes, let's do it. Let's do P break. I'm gonna drop into my Twitch and put it on a 1-minute chat. So, guys, it's gonna be a 1-minute break, and I'll be back. I'm gonna bring a beer. It's gonna be fun, and then we'll actually respond to questions from chat and stuff, because I feel like we've been talking to each other a lot.
We have. We're sorry, chat.
Yeah. So drop some questions in the chat for when we come back, and we'll see you in just a minute, guys. Peace.